Hi, everybody. Welcome out to another episode of Windshield Time, Mountainland Supply. I'm Joey. I'm joined by Spencer, the man of many sorts. Shorts?
Yep. Shorts. Little tongue tie there, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And today we're being joined by Jed Ophiekens. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
The newly minted executive over customer experience. Thank you for making that thing work, too.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It's going to be a challenge.
It's going to be something.
It'll be fun, I think.
So I wanted to kind of take the opportunity to let everybody know kind of what that position's about, why we did it, and then get your thoughts on kind of where you're going to start at so everybody knows what's kind of coming down the pipe. But just as a little background for everybody, why I feel like this position's so important. We do so many things so right at Mountainland that now as we do changes, they end up just being like little tweaks to what we do and just make us incrementally better. You know, we've taken care of a lot of the big things that, you know, we needed to work on budget-wise, finance-wise. Now, I have felt over the last year or so that one thing that we can really improve on that will make a marked difference is our customer experience and customer service. And, you know, we put so much pressure on our branch managers and regional managers and division managers, vertical managers to look at budgets, to look at profit and loss, to worry about employee discipline, to worry about employee promotion, reviews, all those things that they end up taking precedent because there are measurables that are associated with them. And one thing that it gets backburnered by accident is customer experience. And I'm a firm believer that if we forget our customers, then we lose everything, and we deserve to. And I've been saying for about 18 months now that mediocrity is not an option at Mountainland Supply. And so we're going to really put our money where our mouth is and create this position and put emphasis on customer experience because it's so vital to who we are. And I really want to be like the Chick-fil-A of distribution houses, where it's so in your face and so blatant that people look at it and say, holy crap, what the heck happened in Mountainland Supply? You guys should go check that out, you know. And who better to bring that to fruition than you? You're a guy who can build systems that actually work, who can hold accountability so that it's not intrusive, but it helps the individual to know what their pathway is. And I think that's really what people need. They just need to know what's expected of them, and then have the assurance that as they do those things, it's going to be documented so that it's kind of a safe environment for them to be successful. And that's really the vision for it. And then you get to take care of the rest. So thanks for taking on the challenge. I think it's going to be something that's going to be awesome. So you're going to be starting with some of the standard operating procedures and some certain positions. To clarify, these positions are not going to change their day-to-day accountability. You know, branch managers are still going to be accountable for the staffing of all these positions. You know, drivers, counters, all the customer experience people. Anybody who's customer facing is who your department's going to be directly having accountability to. But the, you know, day-to-day, you know, asking for time off, the discipline and the accountability to rise through the ranks and promotion, that will still be largely on the branch manager and department manager. But there will be some key performance indicators, some scorecard items that you will be rolling out that have some cross accountability. So what's your kind of vision for that as we move forward?
I'm really looking forward to it because it's encompasses everybody at Mountainland, every department, every division, every person, and I'm really excited for that. Customer experience is being proactive about customer satisfaction and setting up, like you said, SOPs. Some people don't clearly have a vision of what they need to do to have a good experience with the customer, and so we spell that out and have exact SOPs on things that we want with some KPIs that we've talked about, some measurables that we can look at, I think we can really change things. And, you look at sales, like have a sales background, but you look at operations, and a lot of times we're just putting out fires. We're just going day to day.
Just doing our best.
And we get a couple days, maybe a quarter to work on the business. And I feel like this is really working on the business full time in the position that I'll be in. And trying to smooth things out for every division and everybody in the company and make it a more pleasurable experience for the customers, which is the end goal.
Yeah. So one of the key components of EOS that we run is that everybody has a number that they're accountable to, and people know that number, and it's something that's meaningful for not just them, but for the company at large. And they talk about in EOS that there was a processing company that was making steel, and they didn't even realize what they were capable of making in one heat of steel, or pouring so many heats of steel in a shift. And then once they started documenting it, everything just got better. Everybody was able to perform to a higher standard because they knew that there was a standard out there. And so they started documenting it, putting it on the wall, and then everybody knew what the goal was, and then they were able to perform to it. And I really think that's a lot of what your position will be asking for people is, hey, this is the standard that we're laying out there, so go get it. And I think you're right. There's not a lot of there hasn't been a lot of direction and accountability associated with it, just because they're doing so many other things. They're putting out so many fires that the soft skills of customer service, it's hard to put a measurable to it. And so that's what you're going to be doing.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think once we have that accountability and those SOPs written, we can reward people for doing exemplary work and going the extra mile. And I'm looking forward to reinforcing some of these things with positive actions and rewards to the people that really rise to the top.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Some of the things that I spit at you, when I was first talking to you about the position, if I want the experience to be the same, whether somebody comes into a counter in Wichita or they go to a counter in Kaysville, I want them to be able to expect, I walk in and I don't get 5 steps in the building before I get greeted. I don't have to wait more than 2 minutes to be helped at a counter or on the phone. So a receptionist will have a KPI that they answer the phone within so many rings, or an inside salesman would have that same expectation. The phone doesn't ring more than twice before picking it up, and somebody doesn't stay on hold for more than a minute. So there's going to be a lot of things that we'll be looking at that really just kind of give everybody the opportunity to be better. And once we all are doing those things uniform across the company, that customer can now expect that no matter where they go or how they engage with us. And I think it's going to be awesome when we start doing all those things unified. It's going to be dangerous for what we're capable of, and I just can't wait for it to all start coming together.
Yeah, me too. I'm really excited. I mean, you look at our competition, and we're all selling commodity items, and there has to be something that kind of separates us from our competition. They can buy pipe, valves, and fittings just about anywhere. And, if we can give them that experience that they're looking for, go the extra mile, do those things that you're talking about, we're going to be a clear choice and clear standout. And it would just be that much easier to do business with us than our competitions.
Yeah. And I love your approach of, having a reward system, a little bit of competition between those different positions. As a counter salesperson, if you have a standard that's out there and you exceed it, then that allows you to either get a reward or make a little extra money, and it qualifies you to rise through the ranks and get a different position that does pay more or that you might be interested in. And that will make it so that everybody is fighting for the same things, and everybody's kind of rowing in the same direction and trying to make sure those customers are taken care of. And then we're going to be rewarded by the customer with more business. Right. Because we've distinguished ourselves, from our competition. And I really think that, this company has grown so much over the last 6 to 8 years. I think this is that next glass ceiling that we're going to bust through. and it's going to be through customer service and experience. I think that as we start doing all these things the right way together, it's going to lead to customers wanting to just bring us their business. And then we're not competing on price, and we're not competing on just having the material and having the inventory on the ground. We can now tell people, hey, this is why we consider ourselves to be the best company out there, because we know we are. We look at it every single day. We measure it on the wall. We make sure that we are doing the right things for our customer, and we kind of demand a little bit more business from our customers, because if you don't want to do business with us and we're putting all this effort into being the best, maybe you need to shop somewhere else. Maybe we're just not the right fit for you guys. But the people who are the right fit, they're gonna know it, and they're gonna appreciate it, and they're gonna give us more business for it. So,
yeah, for sure. I think the best thing we can do in this business is create loyalty. And if we can create loyalty with those customers, we don't have to worry about our competition because we have that loyalty. And so, ultimately, that's what we're trying to do here in all aspects of our business.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of times, if you talk to different people throughout the company, they'll say, well, we don't have competition. And this is a way to really truly say that we don't, because we know that we set a standard above everybody else to where, we are our own competition. We take care of things in such a way that there's nobody else that even holds a candle to what we do. And our people are so good, and they're so capable of doing this. We just got to give them the roadmap to success. And that's what this is all about.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. So starting out, you're going to be working with directors, regional managers, branch managers, and really assessing where we can get that information, get those measurables to the people, and then we'll build it out from there. So it's going to be, we talked about this earlier, it's not going to be, throw it in the microwave and watch this thing immediately happen. It's going to be a crock pot. We're going to be watching this thing slow cook.
Yeah, for sure. As impatient as I am, that's going to be difficult. But I'm prepared to do it. I want to do it the right way. I want to roll it out the right way, and make sure everybody's on board. Obviously, we need input from everybody, because this is really a team effort from all aspects. And so if we can get everybody's buy-in, everybody's input, we can really make some cool things happen with this. So.
Well, and the reason why your position and you now are on the executive team is because you're going to be crossing so many of our verticals. You're going to be crossing all of our different operations as well. So you're going to be in the sales department trying to build up that pipeline of talent so they can then ask them to do additional sales roles in the company. You're going to be working with operations to make sure that they're progressing through the different ranks there as well. And so they have that customer service and soft skill training so that they can really have that roadmap to success. And then in the service departments, IT, finance, they're going to be also having some KPIs based around customer service, and their customer may not necessarily be inside or outside the doors. If you're in IT as a service department, your customers are your fellow employees. It's no less important to have those soft skills in those positions than it is to sell to a direct customer. So this is going to be touching every single aspect of the company. And so it wouldn't work just to have this position reporting up through, one of the other executives. It really needs to have a focus as a member of the executive team. So I think this is going to be really cool. And I can speak for James, Bruce, and Ben. They're very excited for this position because they know what it can lead to. And they're most excited because you're in this position, because everybody respects and appreciates what you bring to the table. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. You got any thoughts on this, Shorts? You've been awful quiet today.
Yeah, I just like hearing Jed talk, really. I love Jed. He's always been great. I think he'll do a fantastic job.
No, I agree. I think he's going to do awesome. The clout and the respect and the tenure that he brings to the position, I think, is going to make a huge difference.
I agree.
So, you got anything else you want to add, bud?
I think that covers everything that I have. So I'm just kind of diving in. I'm overwhelmed right now, ready to get rolling. But
drinking through a fire hose.
Yeah, but I've got some ideas that we're ready to roll out, and I think in a couple months we'll be ready to implement a lot of them. So
yeah, so everybody out there, just be looking for Jed. He's going to be in your branches, in your departments, and just give him the help that he's asking for, because this is a Herculean effort that he's trying to undertake, and he's going to need the help from everybody out there. So please do whatever you can to assist and kind of help Jed along. This is going to be an awesome thing once it gets done, and it's just going to take us to a whole new level, and then we'll be able to maintain it as we go and help our people to grow and succeed here. And I think that's the coolest part about it, is that our people will be able to be helped by this. So thanks for doing it, man.
Yep. No, thank you. Thanks for asking.
Thanks for being here, Shorts. Love you, bud.
I love you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel edified. I feel recognized. I feel seen.
You should.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thanks everybody out there for listening, and enjoy the ride. See you down the road.